Hey everyone, welcome to today's 3-hour extreme cleaning motivation marathon video. I hope you're ready for all the motivation. Today I am sharing a compilation of a bunch of different complete disaster cleaning motivation videos that I put together to give you a ton of cleaning motivation. If you're new here, I am Becca. I'm a single mom to 3 boys. Some of these videos you will see that I was still with my ex, so don't get it confused. We are not back together, but I know this isn't everybody's cup of tea, so if this is not your style of video, I will catch you on the next one on Saturday. Hey everyone, welcome to today's real life mess. My house is a complete disaster, so I figured I would share a complete disaster clean with me of this actual mess to share a messy house transformation at the end. If you're new here, I'm Becca. I'm a mom to 3 boys and a military spouse, and if you like extreme cleaning motivation, you will love my channel, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and join the family. As you can see, we are starting off in the entryway. For some reason, my youngest lately has really been loving putting a bunch of toys in this chair. He kind of just runs back and forth from the living room to this chair and he piles them all here. He doesn't even really play with them. I'm not sure why he does it, but it's been a thing for him lately. And a lot of the times this toy box gets emptied out because the kids are generally looking for something in it and they can't find what they're looking for, so they end up kind of just like sifting through everything and pulling it out. But they are really good about helping mom clean up, so I don't worry about it too much. They typically will clean up at the end of the night, and I will just ask them, help mommy clean up, and they'll help as best as they can at their young age. Last weekend was Mother's Day, and I would love to hear how you spent Mother's Day, whether you spent it as a mom, a fur mom, or just spent it with your mom. I would love to hear how you spent that day, if you did something special, or even just got to relax for the day if you are a mom. And I also wanted to send my heart out to those who have experienced loss or infertility or have an estranged relationship with their mother, or maybe have lost their mother. My heart goes out to you. I would imagine that that day is not an easy day for you. I also have my own feelings on that day, but I try to just soak up as much as I can of being a mom and spending that day with my kids and just enjoying it. If anybody's curious, we actually relaxed that day a lot. I got to sleep in. My husband went and got me flowers and a balloon and some candies and coffee. He knows I love my coffee, so he went out and got me some Dunkin', and I woke up to that, and then we just hung out and relaxed for most of the day, and then we went out to the outlets and did a little bit of shopping, which was really nice. It was a really nice day. It was nothing crazy. We didn't do big gifts because I have a girls trip coming up and I really wanted that to be a part of my gift. So nothing crazy, just very simplistic, like thoughtful things. And it was an amazing day. And I hope you have an amazing day as well.
I saw you for a second and I'm happy that you came my way. Don't wanna waste no time without you ever brightening up my days. Never meant to fall so hard. Never meant to love no one.
I feel like I'm constantly cleaning up this table. There's just no keeping it clean because I mean, this is where we eat throughout all day long. So it is almost nearly impossible to keep this table clean. As soon as I clean it, it is a mess again. But that's just the season of life we're in right now. And somebody's always eating, I swear. When you have a house full of boys, somebody is always eating. Working in my kitchen today, I really needed to do like the obvious things, like just normal wiping down the counters. I had a huge mess of dishes that I need to take care of, but it had also been a while since I kind of like moved everything out of the way and really scrubbed behind things and got the backsplash. I'm really guilty of not doing the backsplash enough. I typically get behind like the stove top because obviously food splashes there, so I get that pretty frequently, but like behind all the things in the nooks and crannies where they aren't touched like very often, I could probably stand to clean it a little bit more. So today I really wanted to focus on that. A question I get asked a lot whenever I'm cleaning this area of my house is, what is this crazy contraption on my wall? And it is actually a water line. It's called a pot filler. So when you're making like pastas or anything that requires like water or anything, you can just use this instead of having to go to the sink to get the water. I loved the idea of this because we do have an island in the middle of our kitchen, which kind of blocks off the sink area. So you walk around the island to get to the sink. So when we were building our house and we figured out this was an option, we just loved the idea so that, you know, this island gets right in the way of the sink so that we're not like maneuvering around the kitchen with a big pot of water or anything. We can just go ahead and fill up the pot right at the stove. We are quickly coming up on summer break. I'm so excited for my kids to get out of school. I'm excited for them to have a break. I'm excited for us to have a break from the early mornings. We have to get up so early to get the kids ready and out for school, and I'm not a morning person, so I don't love it, but obviously we have to do it, so we do it. But I'm excited for that not to be our reality for a little while. So are you guys planning anything fun or exciting for summer break? Are you going somewhere? Do you plan on maybe just doing a lot of things locally, like hiking or anything fun like that? Do you guys have big plans for summer? I needed to quickly get in this cabinet and reorganize it just a little bit and get rid of a few things. I noticed that I had had some sprays for like a really, really long time. And I had just thought like, I should probably check like expiration dates on them. And sure enough, they were expired. So there were a few things that I ended up throwing away. And I just noticed that things were starting to pile and get super unorganized. So I went ahead and just quickly organized that. I love having this cabinet organized. I shared that in one of my cleaning videos a month or two ago, organizing this under the cabinet area. And I'm so happy that I did it. Things are just so much easier to find now.
No, I don't care about the heartache and pain, just don't let the memories fade. We know we are lost, in love with the lost, but heart drums the mind, so we'll win anyway. Yeah, we own the sun, naive, wild and drunk. Oh, 'cause it's all up, 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 up. When I'm with you, I'm with you.
On the countertop here, you can actually see those water guns that are sitting on the countertop. The blue one was from like Walmart or Target or something, but the yellow and purple one are from Dollar Tree. I found those at Dollar Tree. They had a ton of different styles to choose from, but my little one liked that one, and I always get my two boys the same ones just so that there's no fighting over them. If they have different ones, it's going to cause a huge fight. So I always get them the same things, but I wanted to let you know, for those of you who have little ones in warm weather or the weather is starting to warm up, Dollar Tree has some pretty awesome water guns right now, and my kids literally play with them every day. Well worth the dollar for sure. You say all the right things when I'm hurting. You always pick me up when I am down. It's like you have a spark that leaves me burning. Yeah, you just have your ways to get me high. You make all my dreams come true. It feels right when I'm around you. We could break up and then make up. I always come back to you. You move me in a way never thought anyone could. You get me high. You're my drug when I am feeling blue. Yeah, it's all you. 'Cause you're the one. Yeah, the one. Yeah, you're the one. Yeah, the one. You touch me in a way that makes me shiver. Sometimes I can't believe that you are mine. Love's gonna be beyond my trigger. You kiss me in a way that gets me high. You make all my dreams come true. It feels right just being around you. We could break up and then make up. I always come back to you. You move me in a way never. I wanted to share a little trick with you. I believe I shared this recently in a cleaning video as well, but I wanted to share it again for anybody who missed it. I have been using Dawn dish soap to be able to get off the sticky stuff on the cups. Like, you know, whenever you buy cups from like TJ Maxx or like Marshalls or something, they have that sticker on it. Why they put it on the side of it is beyond me. We all know it leaves a sticky residue. Could we just do it on the bottom, please? So I had stickers on these stainless steel cups for like energy drinks or like Trulies or something. And the Dawn foaming soap was able to get the sticky stuff off. I did have to use a bit of elbow grease, and I've never used Gooby Gone, so I don't know if that would be easier and quicker or a faster solution, but I know with the Dawn soap, you scrub it a little bit and you can get all of it off.
I just wanna hold you. I just wanna look into your eyes and tell you that I want you. You know you make me feel so alive. Can't stop thinking about you day and night. Love it when you kiss me, love it when we touch. Every time I'm down here.
Another thing that was on my to-do list today was to do the upper cabinets, to wipe down the upper cabinets. I usually just use a wood cleaner to wipe them down, but I'm gonna be honest with you, they were really bad. And I wiped down the lower cabinets not that long ago because those were really bad at the time. But I noticed the other day, at least the cabinets over here by the stove, they were looking a little nasty, like food had splashed on them. So it was time to really clean them off.
You know you are the reason why I feel like I can fly. Thinking about you day and night. I love it when you kiss me, love it when we touch. Every time I'm down here, you make me smile. You're the solution. You are, you are, you are, you are, you are, you are, you are. You are the solution. You are the solution. You are, you are, you are, you are, you are, you are, you are. You are the solution. You are the solution. I wanna hold your hand. You're everything that I desire. Every time we touch, we get set the world on fire, world on fire. I wanna hold your hand. You're everything that I desire, I desire. Every time we touch, we get set.
Next thing on the to-do list is this bar area, which I have let get completely out of control. I've probably been looking at this area for the last month saying, I'm going to tackle that tomorrow. I'm going to tackle that tomorrow, and not doing it. Does anybody else feel like the end of school year, like everything just starts piling up? Like you're not checking the backpack as often. You're not checking like the school apps as often. You're not cleaning up the clutter as often. It's like you're just like in survival mode at the very end of the year. I know I'm not the only one. Maybe I'm the only one, but if I'm not, let me know in the comments down below. It's crazy. Like, I wonder what it is like in our heads why like at the end of the year, it's kind of like we're tapped out and we're just surviving at this point. But that's pretty much where I'm at right now.
Hold your hand. You're everything that I desire. Every time we touch, we get set the world on fire, world on fire. I wanna hold your hand. You're everything that I desire, I desire. Every time we touch, we get set the world on fire, world on fire. I keep on thinking back on it. When we escaped with our first real paycheck. Wasn't much, but we needed less, yeah, than we do now. We were driving along the coast. I felt the ocean breeze on my face. Wanted to go as far as we ever could. So many years have passed, but even though we were broke as hell.
I do have to say though that I get such joy from having this bar area like decluttered and organized and very minimal stuff on it. I don't know what it is. It just brings me a lot of joy. But now we are moving into the back entryway because this is another area that quickly gets messy. I thought for a while about putting a basket back here to kind of just toss the everyday shoes in, because this is kind of what ends up happening. I typically try and clean them up at the end of every night, but when you're a family of 5, it does not take long for these shoes to pile up very quickly, especially because we have like house slippers. We also have shoes so we're wearing like multiple shoes throughout the day, and they all end up sitting out here. So I am trying to work on a better system to keep them organized, but I'm not sure we have this rack in this closet, but it usually is the end of the day when it makes it there. I really would love to get a basket, but I feel like there's just not enough room in this area to have a big old basket to throw shoes in. Hey everyone, welcome to today's complete disaster cleaning. I'm going to be sharing with you a messy house transformation, and as you can tell, my house is a real life mess. This place is trashed, so we need to get it all cleaned up and back in functioning order again. If you're new here, I'm Becca. I'm a mom to 3 boys and a military spouse, and I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and join the family. We are starting off in my dining room today. We had just ate dinner, and we had happened to have takeout this night. We do take out probably a little bit too frequently during the summertime, but this all needed to get cleared up so I could wipe down the table. Has anyone else been struggling lately to keep their house clean? I have been seriously struggling to keep the house clean lately, and I know a lot of it has to do with it just being summertime. We spent a lot of time outside. 4th of July weekend was crazy busy. We had family in town, and then on top of it, we had Grayson's birthday party the weekend afterwards. So it's just been really hard to keep up with the daily chores, to be honest. I am like struggling to keep up, and I feel like I have days where I like catch up and get ahead, and then very quickly I fall back behind again. My house these days, I feel like one area will be clean and spotless, but another one will be completely trashed. Please let me know I am not alone.
I don't know how or how you do it. You blow my mind without a word. Ooh, stuck upside down. I might be dreaming. There's no way back now. Take every inch of my body. Wanna dance with you all night long.
So funny story about these trash bags. I went ahead and ordered trash bags through Walmart pickup, and the ones I usually get weren't in stock, so they like suggested other ones to me. And at a glance, these bags look like they were basically the same thing, just a different brand. So I went ahead and I purchased them. I get home, my husband goes to put them in the trash can, because that's how low we were on trash bags, that we really needed them like that day. And he went to go put them in there, and he's like, "Did you order 30-gallon bags?" I was like, no. And I went on the app and double checked, and I was like, no, I did. I ordered 30-gallon bags. So for a few days until I went out and bought more trash bags, we were using trash bags that were insanely way too big for our trash cans, but I made it work. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the rest of these bags. We'll probably use them for like lawn care stuff, but I also needed to get in this cabinet and really clean it out because it was disgusting.
Come on and show me what you got. 'Cause I don't care if they think
For me, having the dishes all out of the sink and having an empty sink and a cleaned up kitchen, I get the same feeling as the vacuum lines in the carpet about having an empty sink. I just love it. I know my sink is like almost never empty, and every time you come to my channel, we started off with the kitchen, or we finish it with the kitchen, and I always have a full sink of dishes. And maybe that's why I enjoy it so much, because it's not often that I get to see an empty sink, but for that couple of minutes when it's empty, it is literally the best feeling, I feel like. If you're new here, if you're coming from Jabara's channel, I just want to welcome you and say hello. Thank you so much for coming over. Thank you so much for choosing to click on this video. If you're new and this is the first video you're seeing from my channel, I appreciate you guys taking the time to come and hang out with us today and get some cleaning motivation. I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and stick around. It would mean the world to me if you guys keep coming back to my videos and thoroughly enjoy this cleaning motivation, or just enjoy it to get you really motivated. So let me know in the comments down below if there's anything specific that you like seeing on cleaning channels, any type of cleaning like decluttering or organizing or some type of deep cleaning. I would love to get your opinions in the comments down below. I also want to let you know that I have a vlogging channel, and I always have it linked in the description box down below, but it's called Sincerely Becka, and I do a lot of motivational, productive, get it all done, vlogging, whatever you want to call them, but I always jam pack it with the busiest day that I have in the week when I have a lot going on, just to really help get you motivated and get you through your to-do list. And I love just doing it vlog style and really chatting with everybody. It's a way for me to get to know you better. I feel like I connect with you guys over there so much more than I'm able to over here. But if you like that style of content, if I could talk tonight, sorry, words are clearly hard for me right now. But if you like that style of content, go ahead and head over there and say hello.
Love me like a stranger. Let it be unique. Run away with me. Love me like a. Love me like a. Love me like a. Love me like a stranger.
The island somehow on this day became a landing spot for pretty much just everything. Energy drinks, our clean microfiber cloths, water, everything. Just ended up landing on this counter for the day, and so we're going to get that all cleaned up, organized, and put away. I go through olive oil so fast. I use olive oil for just about everything, especially to use it for like non-sticking purposes or for frying something on the stove top. I go through olive oil really fast. Let me know if you love olive oil as well. A frequent question I get every time I clean this area in the kitchen is, what is that thing above your stove? And for those of you who are new and haven't already heard me say this 100 times, it is a pot filler. It's basically just a fancy way of saying it's a water line. It just makes it easier because when we had this house built, we knew there was going to be an island in between like where the stovetop area is and the sink. So we just figured, you know what, it'll be easier just to do the pot filler. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was something that my husband and I had like always wanted. That was like one of our dream kitchen items, and we basically made our dream kitchen in this house. We built this house and the kitchen is the home of this house. It just is. That's where we put our money. That's where, we really wanted to do the upgrades. We didn't do a lot of upgrades in this house, but that was an area we did. So when they said they offered the pot filler, we both were sold on it. Now we're moving on to the back entryway because there's just a lot going on back here. This area, it's messy literally by the end of the day. It looks like this every single day by the end of the day. Between the kids coming in here, it's kind of a confined space, so it doesn't take much for it to look cluttered really fast. And y'all, I'm not gonna lie to you. The fact that my kids take their shoes off when they walk in the door, I'm so appreciative of, and I'm so happy with that. Sometimes if their shoes don't make it in the closet, I don't even care. They remember to take their shoes off, and that's the important thing to me. And a lot of the times I will say, hey, go put your shoes away, and they'll go right back and they'll put them away with no fussing or anything. But just getting them in the habit of actually taking their shoes off is a win in my book.
I keep missing us, miss your touch, missing your body, babe. Tell me what I'm gonna do. Come back to me, come back, baby. Can't hide what I feel, just want you to save me. I keep missing us, miss your touch, missing your body, babe. Tell me what I'm gonna do. Can't hide what I feel, just want you to save me. Come back to me.
Here is your daily reminder that even though I have a YouTube channel and I do cleaning on it, I'm still not very organized with any of it because I had 2 loads of laundry that were sitting in my laundry room for far too long. On this particular day, I had these in the dryer. I had a basket full of the boys' clothes that once I took these out, I went ahead and put the boys' clothes back in the dryer to be put on de-wrinkle. So I just wanted to prove to you that this is real life and I don't have it all together all the time, and messes happen. You get to them when you get to them, and don't ever sweat the small stuff like that, because life is just way too short and it's just laundry. It's not going anywhere. You can fold it tomorrow.
Never felt so lonely, babe. I wanna be there next to you. I keep missing us, miss your touch, missing your body, babe. Tell me what I'm gonna do. Come back to me, come back, baby. Can't hide what I feel, just want you to save me. I keep missing us, miss your touch, missing your body, babe. Tell me what I'm gonna do. Can't hide what I feel, just want you to save me. Come back to me. Come back to me. Baby, I'm sorry for all that was left. No, I can't let go. Tell me you want something more. Baby, I'm sorry for everything. Baby, I'm sorry. Small town, big crowd, and there you were in front of me. Small talk, big thoughts, all we wanted was to escape. This sounds too small for dreams like this. Don't wanna settle down, don't wanna miss out on adventures, things we have.
I'm completely ashamed and embarrassed to admit this, but I always keep it real over here. So after I did my try on for the cup she dresses last week, I think it was the week before this, right? So after I did them, I kind of wasn't sure how I wanted to hang some of them, because I didn't want them to leave any imprints on the dresses. And some of them, you can tell right now, I'm retying them. So I kind of just tossed them in the corner of the closet and was like, I'll get to them another day. Well, here we are a week later, finally getting to them.
Hands up, such a rush. I love having you here with me. To dream big is no sin. The sky has no limit, yeah, we're free. This sounds too small for dreams like this. Don't wanna settle down, don't wanna miss out on adventures, things we haven't seen. Take my hand, follow me. Baby, we're leaving midnight.
Example A of another load going into the dryer that will not be touched for 2 to 3 days. I will eventually come back to it, but I am a creature of habit, and this will stay in the dryer for a few days before I fold it. Now for the most daunting task of my life. I'm going to fold the boys' clothes. As they get older and they get bigger, it'll be less and less daunting, as their clothes are just so little now that there's so many pieces in a full load. It's insane the amount of clothing these boys have and consume. It's just a lot. So I usually try to fold these in front of the TV, or while I'm really into a podcast, That way I can kind of just like get lost into whatever episode of Schitt's Creek I'm watching, because usually that's what I'm watching, or I can get lost in a podcast so that I'm mindlessly folding these clothes.
I try this a new way. I'm gonna show you the tricks that I know. I'm getting tired of talking, and I need more of a show right now. It's time that you made your mind up, 'cause lately all it ever does is change. Feels like we're only talking, going round and around, back around. I will fight like no other every day. I won't stop like the others. I will stay. 'Cause now is the right time, and I'm feeling alright. I'm playing your game like I know I can win right now. You got me up tonight, 'cause loving you is like I'm walking a tightrope so high. I won't be turning around. No, I won't be turning around. It's the right time. You feeling alright? I'm playing your game like I will win tonight. I think I'll do it on my way. I'm gonna show you what I'm going through. Get you out of your comfort zone. 'Cause I need more of the truth right now. It's time that you made your mind up. 'Cause lately all it ever does is change. Feels like we're only talking, going round and around, back around. I will fight like no other every day. I won't stop like the others. I will stay. 'Cause now is the right time, and I'm feeling alright. I'm playing your game like I know I can win right now. You got me up tonight, 'cause loving you is like I'm walking a tightrope so high. I won't be turning around. No, I won't be turning around. It's the right time. You feeling alright? I'm playing your game like I will win tonight. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. We'll turn this around. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. We'll turn this around. Wide awake is the way that you left me, side by side in your car in the backseat. Wide awake is the way that you left me. Oh, now it's clear we are here back at your house, and I keep fading into lights are shining bright. My friends are in the club, we'll go all night. I see you in the back, the mood is right. If I just had your number, I would let you know how I feel. You walk up to me, start dancing to the music and the chase, like this was meant to
Hey everyone, welcome to today's real life mess, complete disaster cleaning. As you can tell, my house is an actual mess, so I'm going to be sharing with you a true messy house transformation at the end of this video. Be sure to stick around, you definitely will want to see that transformation. If you're new here, I'm Becca. I'm a mom to 3 boys and a military spouse, and I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and join the family. If you love extreme cleaning motivation, I put out a long cleaning video every single Sunday. You don't want to miss the content I have coming out. I always make sure to jam pack it with all the motivation you need, so be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new. Today, as you can see, we are starting off in the playroom, which is literally just completely trashed. This place is a little embarrassing showing on camera how bad it is, but it's been weeks since I've cleaned this room because it's summertime and it's really hard to stay on top of anyways. The kids make a mess, and sure, I can make them clean it at the end of every day, but honestly, we've just been having a lot of fun and we've been enjoying summer, and I just don't need to have a spotless house all the time. I like to have fun and enjoy it, and you know, when we have some downtime, then we can all work together to clean up this room, and that's exactly what we're doing today.
Stop pretending. Come home with me. Let's write a history. Tonight I'll make you see. It's all about us. It's all about us. It's all about us. We're dancing close together, making out, making out. It's all about us. It's all about us. There's a magic in your eyes, can't get enough. I can't get enough. Oh, it's all about us. It's all about us. It's all about us. It's all about us. Time to go home. Don't want this night to end. Yeah, about time we stop pretending. Come home with me. Let's write a history. Tonight I'll make you see. It's all about us. It's all about us.
I love this side table that I got from TJ Maxx a few months ago. It is perfect to store all of the blankets in. Whenever I clean up the room, just store them right in this little end table. It's a great storage spot. They still have them at TJ Maxx too. I was in there the other day and I still saw a bunch of them there. So if you're interested, check places like TJ Maxx or Home Goods.
Yeah, we could try to leave it all behind. And we don't have to think about it. Oh, baby, try to rest your mind. I wanna catch you like every time that you fall. I wanna give you the world that is outside your wall. If I was God, I would save you, take you where you belonged. If I could, I would give something new, then I would have what it takes, make you feel like you're safe.
So when I was busy, one of the days during the week, the boys got into this bookshelf and just ripped all the books down. And I won't lie, I was definitely frustrated. I didn't lose my cool or anything about it. It's not that big of a deal, but we definitely had a lengthy conversation about why we don't do that, and it won't be happening again. But we just needed to get all of these books cleaned up. I'm honestly thinking about just decluttering the books. I feel bad doing that because I know reading is such a good fundamental thing for children of this age especially. But I think there's just too many books. I don't think that they need that many, or I could really just, I guess, store them and rotate through a few every week so they're kind of getting changed so they're not getting bored with them. But either way, I'm trying to come up with a better solution for the books.
Someone like you. I won't make it easy for you now. You got 2 minutes of my time, and I don't really break too easily, but I'm worth it, 'cause I'll slip into your dreams tonight. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Just watch me breaking your sweat. You're falling into me, touch me. I swear you would do anything that I want, so keep us awake till the dawn. Baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. I wanna make you sweat on me. I got your eyes. like glue inside your mind. Just watch me break in. I swear, you're falling into me, touch me. I swear, you would do anything that I want. So keep us awake till the dawn. Ooh, baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me.
I wanted to mention here, because I don't think I've mentioned it here, but I did mention it on my vlogging channel. I actually started a new Instagram account for home decor, home makeovers, DIYs. I love doing that type of stuff. It's just a passion of mine. So I know not everybody on YouTube loves that type of content, so I typically don't really do it much over here. But if you are interested in that aspect of my home and you are curious what project I'll be working on next, feel free to come follow me over at Cookie Cutter Upgrade. And this is, like I said, on Instagram. I'm going to be sharing all of the upgrades that I'm going to do to my house and the little makeovers, refreshes. I'm going to be sharing some organization over there too as well. So if you like that type of content, it will be happening mostly in real time, obviously, because it's Instagram, but I have a lot of great ideas, some of which are in this room and maybe some built-in. So go ahead and follow me over there.
Last night we had something. Tonight I'll be guessing, but I don't really have a case. You don't have to mention, you just like their attention. It's written all over your face. I don't wanna play the quiet type when I'm near you. Reading old messages on my phone every time I see you.
How is everybody feeling now that summer is nearing the end? We are not prepared. I am the worst procrastinator when it comes to school stuff, but I also like to wait for tax-free weekend, and that's different in every state. If you're curious as to when that is in your state, go ahead and just like do a Google search for your state and when is tax-free weekend. Hopefully you haven't already missed it. Unfortunately for South Carolina, for some reason, they always do it like the weekend before school starts, and I try to do all of my school shopping during tax-free weekend, but it has me waiting till the last minute, which stinks, but I will be doing it then. So I know most people have already done their school supply list. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you all done getting everything you need?
Quiet time when I'm near you, pretending that I don't know who you are every time I see you. Tell me, is this part of an act just to keep your image intact? If you think that strategy's smart, I'm not gonna defend my beating heart.
Moving on to the boys' bedroom, and I swear I am not even sick at all of this room yet. I love how this room turned out. We did this room, it was about a year ago now. Yeah, it was actually a year ago now. And I'm still just so in love with how this room turned out. I think it'll forever be one of my favorite transformations. I just love it. I love the color tone. I love it. I know it's not for everybody, but it's exactly what I envisioned.
hurts a little bit, but not that much. 'Cause if you want somebody else, who am I to judge? I've been thinking about you all the time, but that's alright. I'm starting to get used to it, think I'll survive. I met you in the summer, when you left it was cold. Said we loved one another, guess that we were wrong. I met you in the summer, our love was out of control. I've been going crazy without you, I'm so alone. I met you in the
I swear my bedroom collects dust the fastest out of everywhere in the house. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like it is always collecting dust so fast. So we're gonna give this place a really good dusting and wipe down and just get it back in order.
And I couldn't really make you stay, so what to do? I'm just staring at my walls and talking to myself. Now and then I'll try to laugh, but I'll cry a bit as well. I was never any good at being away from you. I met you in the summer, when you left it was cold. Said we loved one another, guess that we were wrong. I met you in the summer, our love was out of control. I've been going crazy without you, I'm so alone. I met you in the
I've really been itching lately to give my room a little facelift, a little refresh. I have some really inexpensive ideas and some great ideas that I think will really just bring this room back to life. I have just been itching to do it. I don't know what it is, but I think when I decorated this room, there were a lot of things that I did that I didn't really love, but it seemed fitting for the time, and now I know my style a little bit better than I did then. I was still kind of figuring it all out. And now I have more of a vision of how I want things to be, how I want them to look, and I'm ready to kind of work on this room again to really nail down exactly how I want it.
I know we've been through a lot, holding hands while screaming at each other. And I don't know how to start, but I still love you like I do. It breaks my heart, no text, no calls from you. Without you could shape this up, you're not that tough with me. So run away with me, come home with me tonight. Run away with me, it'd be worth the time. Run away with me, I made you feel alright. Run away with me, and I'll be good this time around. I'll be good this time. I'll be good this time. I'll be good.
Moving into my bathroom, I really needed to get this place clean. The bathroom was just disgusting. I mean, what bathroom by the end of the week isn't disgusting anyways, but I really wanted to get this place cleaned up again. I had cleaned the shower the night before while I was in the shower. If you know me, you know I clean it in the shower because I hate cleaning the shower. It's my least favorite task to do. So might as well do it while you're already in the shower, and then at least you can enjoy the hot water for a little bit longer. But I had cleaned the shower, so that usually gets me motivated. Once I get the shower clean, it motivates me to want to get the rest of the bathroom cleaned.
Shake things off, but I'm not that tough with you. So run away with me, come home with me tonight. Run away with me, it'd be worth the time. Run away with me, I'll make you feel alright. Run away with me, and I'll be good this time around. I'll be good this time. I'll be good this time. I'll be good this time. Run away with me, come home with me tonight. Run away with me, it'd be worth the time. Run away with me, I'll make you feel alright. Run away with me, and I'll be good this time around.
Summer has really messed my entire schedule up, and I swear things are just kind of in shamble right now, and they just kind of get done. When they get done, it's a hot mess. I kind of a little bit miss the structure of waking up early and getting the kids to school. It just gives me so much more time, I feel like, to get what I need done, because I have that structure of having to get up early. During the summer, we have so many more opportunities to kind of just like enjoy the family and have, days where we don't do any work, or where we don't, really do anything except for just take in some quality time, which is great. But we all have responsibilities, and it's hard to stay on track now that the kids are out of school. I know I can't be the only one.
Don't wanna be down, looking for a new start. Looking for a new start. Don't wanna be trapped, don't wanna be down. Looking for a new start. Can't you see that I just need to be by myself? I have told you many times now. Yeah, can't you see that I just need to be by myself? I have told you many times now. But somewhere I go and hide, looking for a new start. Yeah, somewhere I go and hide, looking for a new start, for a new start. Looking for a new, looking for a new, looking for a new. Don't wanna be trapped, don't wanna be down, don't wanna be stuck in this town. Don't wanna be trapped, don't wanna be down. Looking for a new start. Looking for a new start. Don't wanna be trapped, don't wanna be down. Looking for a new start. Yeah, somewhere I'll go running.
I've noticed this summer that my house also has just kind of gotten a little more out of control cleanliness wise. And it's, like I said before, it's really hard to stay on task, and there's so much going on, so many moving parts, all the kids are home, all of that. Chris's work schedule has been really crazy, and I've just kind of fallen off of my cleaning schedule, but I've been trying really hard lately to get back on a good cleaning schedule, and just getting back down to getting the house really deep cleaned once a week. I obviously could never do it all in one day. Our house is just too big. That's not possible. But I want to get back into a routine where every day I'm working on cleaning a room or something. I used to do that all the time. When I first started YouTube, I had a schedule where I literally cleaned for probably 4 days out of the week, and I would be able to take the weekends off and just do like the minor cleaning up. That way I had a clean house every week, but I've been struggling to stay on a schedule like that lately. It's a lot harder when you're a work from home parent and your kids are home. So I'm doing the best I can, but I really want to focus on getting back on schedule with just a more thorough cleaning routine. Heading into my closet, this has been a sight for sore eyes lately. It's been driving me nuts, and since I'm cleaning today, we are going to work on this closet. I hang dry a lot of my shirts, and I'll just kind of put them spaced out on the bottom rack, and sometimes I'm really good about the next day when they're dry, putting them up and putting them away. Sometimes I'm not, and this was one of those weeks where a lot of it had just kind of piled up over a few loads of laundry, and it was time to really just get it cleaned up. I have a bad tendency too of taking a lot of like the hang dried stuff and just kind of tossing it on top of those cubbies or just on top of the racks or whatever. So it gets to a point where it's hard to see what's on the racks because there's so much just kind of lying around. So I wanted to really organize it so my closet was, put back together and I could actually see what I have.
I got so much to say.
Wish I could say I was finally over you, but that's not the truth. Everyone always keep falling in love again. What's wrong with them? I don't understand. Maybe it will pass by. Someone save me for I pass out. I'm too lonely to be done. I'ma drink at this page. Yeah. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain with nobody to hold on to?
Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. I'm Becca. I'm a mom to 3 boys and a military spouse, and I would love for you to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy real life cleaning motivation. I always jam pack my videos. I make them long, I'm very motivational, and I always keep it 100% real with the mess. So hit that subscribe button if you're new. Today we have a lot we are going to do. We are going to do a clean, declutter, and organize because it's the new year and I'm just really feeling like let's get rid of so much stuff. There's so much stuff to go through, so much stuff to just be done. I'm just ready. I know a lot of you are feeling that way too. Let me know in the comments down below if you've already started decluttering and organizing your house. Right now we're just working on the boys' room. I really just wanted to get in here and get the beds made, do a quick vacuum before I started with the big task. Some of the areas in my house that I really want to work on are there's this closet downstairs. It's like a little tiny closet downstairs that I've been hoarding a lot of things for my cousin in. She has a little boy who is a year younger than Tristan, so I typically just give her all of my stuff as Tristan grows out of it. and that closet is so piled up. I need to just get a really big box and shove it in there and just mail it out to her. But that closet is a place where we're gonna work on it. So that's one of the places. Another place is the boys' closet. If you have been around, you've seen me hang, you know, Tristan's shirts in there, and that closet is just, whew, it's bad. It's really, really bad, and it's starting to really bother me. So we're in my room now. We are going to clean the bed sheets because I've actually been having this random thing go on with my eye that I'll talk to you about in a little bit.
We both wanted different things, but letting go just comes easy that you don't. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain?
So for Christmas, one of the things that I actually got from my in-laws is this jewelry box, which was Chris's grandmother's. And I love that they love to give us gifts from like family heirlooms because I love old pieces. I've always loved old pieces. My dream one day is to either own like an older house with like, you know, craftsmanship and all of that, and then like, you know, kind of like, of course, decorate it towards that. There's a few accounts I follow on Instagram. There's actually one girl that I follow, and she built a house. She happens to be in South Carolina, which is where I am, but she built a house and made it look old. I mean, she literally went like antiquing and stuff, but her house is actually brand new, but she did like, you know, older doors, older style trim. Her kitchen looks like an older kitchen. Like her house is a dream house, and I would love to be able to do that one day, or even just buy an older house. I would love to renovate an older house, but keep the touches to it, because a lot of these older houses that you see, you know, people renovate them and make them very modernized, and that's not what I would do. I would just make it look new again, really. Keep it in its time era and make it look new again. So that would be a goal of mine one day. But I love when they give me old pieces because it goes towards the collection, so that one day when I do make that dream come true, I can start using those in the house. And of course, just having something meaningful is always amazing.
I want like you just the way you are. Keep on doing what you do, just keep on.
So to briefly talk about my eye, I have very, very sensitive skin. I'm hyperallergenic. I mean, I'm allergic to so many things. I'm allergic to nickel. There's so many things. So I have been having an allergic reaction on my eye, and I think it's from a new like nighttime cream that I was using, eye cream, which was amazing. It's not the cream, it's me. It's really me. But I was using it, my eye like had a reaction to it. So, and then I noticed a few days after I stopped using it that my eye was having the same reaction again. I'm not using any new products, but then I was like, I have not washed my sheets in a while, and you know, I wear it at night, so it probably got on the sheets. So that's why I was like, yes, we are washing the sheets. I'm gonna run the robot vacuum in the bathroom because there's hair everywhere, because I shed like crazy. What woman doesn't? And instead of me doing it, I'm just gonna have, you know, this little guy do it for me. Now we're gonna get moving on to some more laundry. Since the last time I've posted a video, I actually hit 20,000 subscribers, and I wanted to take a minute to thank all of you for subscribing and for sticking around, and to those of you who come back every week or every other week, for those of you who just come back in general, thank you so much. This was such a big milestone. I have had this channel now for 2 years. I had just hit my 2-year mark in November, and I'm so thankful, grateful, happy, excited. I cannot wait to see what the future holds. I cannot wait to see what the next year brings. And I'm just so incredibly grateful for you taking the time to subscribe to my channel and watch my videos and be here. And even if you don't leave a comment, even if, you know, you're kind of a silent watcher, I'm still incredibly grateful for those of you who watch my videos. This wouldn't be possible. I wouldn't have hit 20,000 if it wasn't for you being here. So thank you so much.
Steal all the gold you can get. Show me your love leave me breathless, breathless. I'm out of patience, I'm out of feels, but I guess I'm waiting around for something real. I'm going crazy, like what's the deal? 'Cause I want you to show me what you
I'm gonna go and toss these on the door just to let them dry. They're not like really wet, they're just damp. Also, as you can tell, it is nighttime now. It was much later in the day. I wanted to be completely vulnerable and honest with you. As you know, I am all the time here, but the day had just gotten away from me. I was doing the school runs, I had to make dinner and everything, and I just didn't have as much time in this day as I thought I would have for some reason. And you know, at the end of the day, I kind of always get bummed whenever I don't get the stuff done that I want to get done. You know, it's kind of disappointing. I wanted to work on the playroom on this specific day, but I ended up having to wait for the next day, which is fine. It happens, but I do get down on myself sometimes and frustrated that I wasn't able to get everything done on my to-do list for that day. And I wanted to point that out and just be vulnerable and honest with you, because I know everybody struggles with this. It's hard whenever you're trying to juggle it all. You're trying to do it all. Chris was out of town for the week, and unfortunately I didn't have his help either, so I was doing it solo on my own, and I just wasn't able to get as much done out of the days as I wanted to, and it was very frustrating because I'm a very start something, want to finish it type of person in one shot. So you're gonna see me in a different outfit, and we're gonna move on to day 2 and just get everything else done that I wanted to get done on that first day. All right, this is the state of the playroom in its current condition. It's trashed from Christmas. We have a lot of toys that need to be reorganized. The playroom was already busting at the seams, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't even want to buy anything for Christmas this year because I already knew we have too much stuff. And I just want to put that out there. I do know that we have a lot of toys and we have a lot of stuff, and that's why we are going to go through and declutter this room. I'm not going to not give my kids a Christmas though, or not give them a Christmas the size I want to give them just because they already have so much stuff. I always feel like there's things that can be gone through and be donated and put out for good purposes, you know, like given to children who are less fortunate and all of that kind of stuff. So that's what I try to do. I'm never going to take away from my children just because they've already got too much stuff. We find a purpose for the things that they don't utilize anymore. But that's mainly what I wanted to do on this day. And since Christmas, we really just hadn't gotten into this room and organized it and cleaned things up and really just taking care of this, because as you can tell, it is a crap show.
When you falling back to ground again, how do you get up when your body's saying no? We've broken all that you have left. How do you take back what you've lost? All I need is another chance to get back up and make amends, yeah. Gotta let me try. All I need is another chance. This time will be different. Gotta let me try. You got to let me try. Leave the skyline heading.
So my main goal in this room was to really start breaking things down into different sections. I wanted to make it as easy on myself as possible because I would be lying to you if I said I wasn't dreading going through this room. I almost rather declutter any other room in this house than this room, to be completely honest, because there is a lot of stuff. Things were so unorganized, and I knew it was, it was a big job. It was a big task. So I wanted to put kind of everything in its home and get everything organized into sections and then start breaking things through and okay, we had a lot of baby toys, and if I'm being honest, we probably could have gotten rid of them a year ago, but I didn't because of me. because I just wasn't ready to yet. Like, Tristan is my last baby and he is now 4 years old. We do not need these little baby toys anymore. He hasn't touched them in like a year or longer, but I was not ready to do that yet. So I just went ahead and just kept them. But a lot of these toys, like on the top shelf, I think the only one that they actually play with is that that one that I left on the shelf, because like it's got the balls, you push the balls down with that little hammer thing and they fall through, and he loves playing with anything like that. So this toy I had gotten last year and I'm getting rid of it because my children like to shove random things in it, to be honest. Things get stuck in it all the time. That's the only way they play with it, and I'm not having it. So we're getting rid of it. It's going.
Take my hand, I feel my heart beat, and I don't want this moment to stop. Time to go home, don't want this night to end. Yeah, about time we stop pretending.
This is the toy basket from downstairs, and I brought this upstairs on Christmas Day because I wanted to just go through everything at once. And every few months I re-go through this basket and kind of just move things back upstairs that I don't want downstairs. I try to keep mostly Tristan, like his toys in this basket, or things I know he'll play with on a daily basis, because during the day it's just him and I mostly stay downstairs. Colby and Grayson are really, my two older ones are really the ones who hang out in the playroom the most, and Tristan doesn't come up here when it's just him. He only hangs out up here whenever the other boys are up here. So I like to keep his stuff in that basket, or mostly his stuff or whatever. So I knew I needed to go through it again. And then of course, like, there's just broken toys. Like, boys are rough, like they break things, but that's another reason why I wanted to go through all this stuff too, because I knew there was some broken toys and then toys they don't play with anymore and all that kind of stuff.
Come home with me, let's write a history. Tonight I'll make you see it's all about us. It's all about us. It's all about us. We're dancing close together, making out. It's all about us. It's all about us. There's a magic in your eyes, can't get enough. I can't get enough. It's all about us. It's all about us. It's all about us. It's all about us. Time to go home. Don't want this night to end. Yeah, about time we stop pretending. Come home with me. Let's write a history. Tonight I'll make you see it's all about us. It's all about us.
This basket is mainly used for their small toys, like their dainty little toys, so that they can easily find them, because of course if I put this size, like these little small toys, in that big toy basket, they will be lost indefinitely and never touched again. So I go ahead and put a lot of their smaller stuff in this basket, which I was hoping to go through this little basket and hoping that, weeding out the broken toys or just things that I knew they wouldn't play with anymore, that would be enough to not make this basket overflowing anymore, because when I originally sought out to use this basket for this purpose, it wasn't overflowing. Now it is. Because I swear we collect the small stuff, like little cars and stuff like that, because those are typically the cheaper things to buy at the stores. So throughout the year, we don't buy really expensive toys for our kids unless it's a big holiday. But then we end up buying all these little knick-knack toys because they're cheap. Why not? But now it's like overflowing. So I'm gonna have to come up, I think, with a better organization method for these toys, but for now this will work.
No matter what they say, we'll shout it out louder, prouder. Ain't no one gonna hold us down, 'cause you know that we're beautiful, just the way we are. Don't let them sell you all of their
Okay, some of the toughest part of the job is done now, and now that that's done, we're gonna put the toys back in here that we want to take for downstairs, that we know are more Tristan's favorite toys. Of course, these are all pretty much Tristan and Grayson's toys since they're only 2 years apart, but they have different personalities. And of course, I'm sure you can understand if you have multiple children, they have, you know, some of them like this over here and some of them like this over here. So I usually just pick like his favorite toys and I put them in that basket. But as far as that TV that I just moved, we actually bought Colby I believe it was a 50-inch Samsung TV for Christmas. That was like his big gift this year. I try to do one big gift for all the children, but the TV was his big gift, and it works out pretty nicely because we had a bigger TV like that in here and it ended up breaking. I don't know how, it just stopped working one day. It was really old, so I'm not surprised, but I figured for Christmas I was struggling with coming up with an idea for him because it's so hard at 16 coming up with like those big gifts for them at that age. So I figured, you know, he didn't like using the small TV to play his video games on the weekend. So I figured, you know what, I'll buy him a bigger TV and we'll call it the Playroom TV for now. But obviously in a couple of years, he's probably going to move out, whether he's going to, you know, whatever he does, if he decides to go to college, if he decides, whatever, he's probably going to move out within the next few years. So I figured this will be his TV. It'll stay in the playroom until he's ready to move out, and then when he leaves, he can take this TV with him.
I know we've been through a lot, holding hands while screaming at each other. And I don't know how to start, but I still love you like I do. It breaks my heart, no text.
It's not that often that this toy box is completely emptied out, so I figured I would take the opportunity and get it vacuumed out because there's a lot of like dust and stuff on the bottom of this. But I also did want to let anybody who is wondering know that this toy basket is from Home Goods. I see them there all the time. They do round ones, they do square ones, they do smaller ones, they do big. They have them there all the time, but it is one of the most frequently asked questions I get, believe it or not, whenever I'm cleaning in this room. A lot of people always want to know where this basket's from, which I don't blame you because I love this basket. I love the aesthetic of it and everything, so I figured I would toss that in there just in case anybody was wondering.
I think that I'll leave it this time. Don't say we're drifting apart. I can't stand to see you with another. Oh, I know I once broke your heart, but I still love you like I do. Love you like I do. Oh, it breaks.
Now we're gonna get the couch all cleaned up. I'm gonna fold up these blankets and put them away. We have acquired a lot of blankets up here lately. I don't know what's going on, but there's like a lot. And I usually put them in that little side table right there, but they're starting to not fit. So I might have to kind of declutter some of these blankets as well. But this is another frequent question I get too, is where did I get this side table? And this is from TJ Maxx. Yes, TJ Maxx, and I see them there all the time as well. This style is a lot like my coffee table, which is also from TJ Maxx. So I love it. I love the aesthetic of it. And this is an entire donate pile. So this isn't even just all of it. This is just a bulk of a lot of like the smaller things, but you guys will see how much I actually ended up donating. It is insane.
Run away with me. Come home with me tonight. Run away with me. If it worth the time. Run away with me. I made you feel.
Little intermission to switch up the laundry and get this stuff working, to take a little break from the decluttering and get the laundry done because, you know, It all needs to be done. If I'm not multitasking, what am I really doing? Because that's just my life. I'm always multitasking, and then I wonder why I can't complete a task because I'm probably way too like all over the place trying to complete too many tasks at once. Let me know if you completely relate to that, because I know I can't be the only one.
Wanted to go as far as we ever could. So many years have passed, but even though we were
Okay, I got this little mat thing. It's a musical mat thing, so you turn it on and you like tap on it. It's like the piano one, you know? If you are a 90s or an 80s kid, you know what I'm talking about. Big, is that the name of the movie? Yeah, so it's like that. It's like a music one. I'm pretty sure I loved that thing more than my children did, so it was time to give it up and give it to somebody who is going to actually utilize it more than my children do.
down and we ended up sleeping at the worst motel somewhere. We had rashes for days. Do you remember that? In spite of everything that we lacked, nothing compares to the freedom we had. I would do it again.
We had actually hung a new TV mount for this TV, so everything kind of needed to be dusted off from the drywall. But I did want to say, I found the TV mount, this is the second one I've bought like this from Walmart for like 20 bucks. I mean, it's pretty basic. It doesn't like, you can't like move the TV or tilt it or anything, but really, I mean, my kids don't need to do that. I also use this same mount for the smaller TV in our guest room, but $20, I mean, you really cannot beat that. So if you need a TV mount and you need to keep it budget friendly, Walmart is where it's at. We're gonna finish up this half of the room with a quick vacuum. Funny story, I charge my vacuum in the closet downstairs where everybody puts like their shoes and jackets and stuff. And my battery has never died on this vacuum since I've had it, and I've had it now for like 2 years. The battery on it has never died when I'm using it. Like, it's never died, not once. And when I was using it on this day, the battery literally died on me. And I was like, that's just not, there's no way, because I didn't even vacuum anywhere else. Like, there's just no way. So I went downstairs, and sure enough, somebody hit the plug and unplugged the vacuum. So when I had it sitting on the charger, it wasn't actually charging.
No, I wouldn't change anything.
You know it still hurts a little bit, but not that much. 'Cause if you want somebody else, who am I to judge? I've been thinking about you all the time, but that's alright. I'm starting to get used to it, think I'll survive. I met you in the summer when you left. It was cold.
Okay, friends, this is the pile of donate. A lot of toys. We had 2 bags of 1 bag of trash, 1 bag of donate, and then all of these toys. I actually felt really bad getting rid of this little car thing because Tristan still loves it. He loves it. I think out of sight, out of mind type of thing. Like, he's not gonna notice it's gone, but he plays with it all the time. But he's way too big for it. I mean, he was too big for it at 2 years old because he's such a big baby, but I felt really bad getting rid of it, but it was time. It's time to just get rid of the baby stuff.
Without you, and I couldn't really make you stay, so what to do? I'm just staring at my walls and talking to myself now and then. I'll try to laugh, but I'll cry a bit as well. I was never any good at being away from you. I met you in the summer when you left. It was cold. Said we loved one another. Guess that we were wrong. I met you in the summer. Our love was out of control. I've been going crazy without you. I'm so alone. I met you in the I met you in the it still hurts a little bit, but not that much. Cause if you want somebody else, who am I to judge? I met you in the summer, when you left it was cold. Said we loved one another, guess that we were wrong.
And of course, we're gonna complete this with finishing up the last little bit of laundry that we have. Y'all should be so proud of me. I did not leave any laundry in the dryer today. I really just wanted to get all of my stuff out, get it organized. I don't know, I've just been feeling like I really want to get organized and get things decluttered and get things put away. And really lately too, it just feels really good to have things in their home. And I knew if I kept this laundry sitting in the dryer, I'm going to be digging through the dryer for the next 3 days. So instead, I'm going to put it in the closet where I can visually see it and visually pick from it.
I got this boy on my mind that I can't live without. Oh, his eyes are killing me. And he keeps talking about everything that he likes, and I can't stop listening. I'm thinking about him all the time. I'm thinking about him all the time. I'm thinking about him all the time, all the time. And my heart's beating fast when he's looking like that. Oh, his smile is killing me. It's the way that he moves and the way that he laughs, so I can't get enough. Thinking about him all the time. I can't get him off my mind. Oh, I want him to be mine, to be mine. My heart is saying yeah, 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 yeah. You know I want him now, 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 now. My heart is saying yeah, 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 yeah. I told him I can be a fighter if you want. I'll be there to catch you if you fall. I can make it brighter when it's dark, when it's dark. I told him I would do it all for you, and I know you do it for me too. I can be a fighter.
I would love to hear what you're decluttering in your house or what your decluttering goals are for this year. I know a lot of us are starting off the new year strong and trying to get a lot done. So I would love to know what you have planned. Maybe you'll give me some really great ideas too, because sometimes I feel like there's spaces that I want to declutter and I don't realize it until I start digging through those spaces, like random closets and stuff, medicine cabinets. And I saw my friend Ashley doing her bathroom the other day, and she was going through like all of her old makeup products and her like hair stuff and whatnot. And I was like, I really need to go through all of my old makeup stuff. Like that is an area I probably need to declutter as well. Probably go through my medicine cabinet and get rid of all of my expired medicine as well. So let me know what you guys have on the list.
If you want, I can be a fighter. I can be a fighter if you want. I can be a
I'm out of reasons, I'm out of rhyme, but I'll only tell you that I'm out of time. I'm sick of love songs, I'm tired of this, and I wanna tell you straight just like it is. You're watching me like you want me, but you're still holding back, still holding back. Honestly, you're annoying me with the way that you keep playing. Show me your love like it is, like it is.
Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we are doing a complete disaster cleaning because my house is trashed. We have a lot of messes to clean up, a lot of things to just get clean, get in order, and getting, you know, this house just back under control again because it's disgusting, as you can see. I am jam-packing this video with a ton of cleaning motivation for you, so whatever mess you need to tackle today, you will get the motivation from this video from. So let's clean together, or let's just hang out and get you motivated to get done whatever you need to get done. If you're new here, I'm Becca, and I am a mom to 3 boys and a spouse. If you need extreme cleaning motivation, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I put out 1 to 2 videos every week. My videos are always long and jam-packed with a ton of motivation. I also like to put out shorts every week. So if you like that type of content, be sure to hit that subscribe button.
Like it is, bend open my heart like you're fearless. Steal all the gold you can get, you can get. Show me your love, leave me breathless, breathless. Show me your love like it is, bend open my heart like you're.
As you can see, we are starting in the entryway today. I really needed to mop the downstairs because it was disgusting. I do not mop nearly as often as I should because it's my least favorite task to do. And we don't wear shoes in my house, so the floor never gets too bad. It gives me the opportunity to not do it as frequently. But we do have a dog and we have children who are very messy, so I probably should do it more frequently, but I knew it needed to be done, so we are getting it done today.
They keep telling me stay on the low. I'll be better off burning slow.
I am so sorry. For some reason, my camera kept going in and out of focus here. I have no idea why, but I wanted to apologize if that hurts anybody's eyes or is just driving anybody nuts, because it definitely was driving me nuts while I was editing this video. But as you can tell, the living room isn't too bad, but it definitely needs some cleaning up. There's a lot of toys lying around, which is just normal mom life, let's be honest. But I want to know, how is your weekend going? How was your week? Did you do anything exciting? How are you doing on this lovely day?
And I won't hide, I will live it loud. Through highs and the lows, I won't let go. Undeniable. Undeniable. I am done playing somebody else. Gonna love on me and myself, and I'm gonna take all that fire inside, and I'm gonna run till the river runs dry. Shake me, you can try and break me, but babe, you got it wrong. I won't play along. 'Cause I will rise, you can't hold me down.
Before we finish up in the living room, I'm gonna go ahead and give the rug a vacuum. Or really, before I start mopping the living room, I'm gonna go ahead and give the rug a vacuum. I usually try to vacuum the rug first before I mop, because whenever I vacuum this rug, it kind of disperses like little pieces of hair all over the place, because this is a wool rug, so it sheds really easily. And whenever I vacuum it, it seems to shed a little bit more. Kind of just like floats around in the air, I guess, really is the best way to explain it. So I try to vacuum this rug before I mop. But side note, since I'm talking about this rug, I love this rug. I'm pretty sure I have it linked in the description box down below if you're interested in it. It is a wool rug, which makes it a little pricey. Wool rugs are on the expensive side, although this rug, I feel like for the size I got and the price I paid, it is more expensive than I typically would spend on a rug, but it's still good quality, well worth the money, and still not quite as bad as some other places. But I love that rug, and I don't for a second regret buying it. I've had it now for almost 3 years, I think. Have I had it for 3 years? Actually, I think I've had it for 3 years now. I love it. I don't regret ever buying it.
It's no secret, all my friends already know. There's no reason to hold it back, I let it show. All my feelings, are you thinking about me tonight? Your hands around my waist, just let the music play. Like a drug, I am hooked on you. Sweeter than summer wine. Baby, just hold me tight. Like a drug, I am hooked on you. And that makes me say, oh man, you make it feel like paradise. Goddamn, I think I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh man, you make it feel like paradise. Paradise. I'm taking a mental picture in my mind just to keep this moment till the end of time. 'Cause I know that it might be over after tonight. So before I change my mind, your hands around my waist, just let the music play. Like a drug, I am hooked on you. Sweeter than summer wine. Baby, just hold me tight. Like a drug, I am hooked on you. And that makes me say, oh man, you make it feel like paradise. Goddamn, I think I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh man, you make it feel like paradise. Paradise. Baby, free, give it to me. If it's only for tonight, it's baby.
Super cute. The kids actually wanted to help me put everything back and were being super helpful. Of course, at this age, honestly, sometimes it kind of feels like they're kind of getting in the way when they're trying to help, but I try to let them help out as much as they can because I know, for one, it's really empowering for them. So I go ahead, and it's cute.
You make it feel like paradise. Paradise. Oh man, you make it feel like
Moving on to the dining room, which thankfully was not too bad, just a basic cleanup and some wiping down. This table is always kind of gross because we sit at this table and eat at it all day long. So this area gets dirty really fast. I mean, by the end of breakfast, really. This area is dirty again and could always use a cleanup. Some days I just wait till the end of the day because I literally would just be cleaning this table continuously all day if I cleaned it after every time somebody sat down at it. So I just don't even really bother usually until towards the end of the day cleaning this space.
last night we had something. Tonight I'll be guessing. But I don't really have a case. You don't have to mention. You just like their attention. It's written all over your face. I don't wanna play the quiet type when I'm near you.
So, funny story, a few videos ago I did a declutter in the kids' playroom and got rid of a lot of toys that they weren't really playing with anymore. These blocks actually are something that they do play with on a regular basis, but I felt like if it wasn't within their eyesight that they wouldn't notice it being gone. So I figured, you know what, I'll try and get rid of it because I felt like they only played with it because they saw it and it was there and available, but I didn't feel like it was one of those favorite toys that they gravitated to just generally on their own. Was I wrong? My 6-year-old, the day afterwards, was asking, where are the blocks? Where are the blocks? So thankfully I hadn't dropped off the stuff yet, so I was able to pull it out and give it back to him, but that was the only thing out of everything that the kids were asking for.
This isn't like giving you space. I don't wanna play the quiet type when I'm near you, pretending that I don't know who you are every time I see you. Tell me, is this part of an act just to keep your image intact? If you think that strategy's smart, I'm not gonna defend my beating heart.
If anybody is wondering what I'm using to vac mop the floors, this is the Bissell Crosswave. This is the cordless option. They have a corded option for much cheaper than this, but I rave about this thing all the time. I love this vacuum and mop in one. Actually, the other day I cleaned up one of Lola's messes. She got sick on the floor. Nothing, it really wasn't even, it was literally just liquid. It looked like water, but she had gotten sick. She probably got into something or ate some of the kids' food or something. And it was so much easier to pick up with this than to, you know, have to try and pick it up with my hands or anything, because let's be honest, that's gross. So anytime like the kids get sick or anytime they drop like, you know, liquids on the ground, it's so much easier just to pull that thing out and clean with it. I love it. I think it's worth every single penny for that factor. Moving on to the kitchen, and we definitely have a lot to do in here. So much of a mess, so much going on. I just really, things got out of control, as they usually do, let's be honest. This was at the end of the weekend. Once again, I always do my cleanings at the end of the weekend or the beginning of the week, because weekends we take a lot of family time together and just, you know, let everything kind of fall by the wayside and get it done, you know, after the weekend's over. And we try to just spend some time together, and, you know, why not? You only live for a short period of time. Your kids grow up so fast. You really, you know, the messes can wait, and family time, I feel like, is more important. So I try to catch up either on Sunday or Monday with all of the cleaning. Before I throw away all of these receipts, I'm gonna go ahead and put them into my Fetch app. I will put on to the screen right now the Fetch app name and the code you can use if you want to get extra points. It'll give me extra points, it'll give you extra points, and every time you scan a receipt, you get points for it, and those points can turn into gift cards for a plethora of places. I typically choose Dunkin' Donuts because why not pay for my coffees that way? But I just wanted to share that with you. I've shared it a few times and I love the Fetch app. It gives me points on literally every receipt. I scan every receipt, whether it's fast food or it's Target, Walmart, even if it's like a shoe store. I always scan all my receipts, and it's super beneficial. So I'm cleaning up all this mess from dinner, and I thought I would share with you really quick what was for dinner, because I've shared this actually on my vlogging channel. I do grocery hauls or Sam's Club hauls over there every now and then, but I buy this shrimp scampi from Sam's Club and it's absolutely amazing. And I buy the Rayo, R-A-O I think it is, Alfredo sauce, which is the best tasting Alfredo sauce I've ever had in my life. It's so stinking good. But I do the shrimp scampi, some noodles, and that Alfredo sauce, and it's so good. And then we do some cheese bread, and you could probably throw in some spinach in there too if you wanted, but it is one of my favorite meals to cook, and that's what I actually happen to cook on this night. I would love to hear what some of your favorite recipes or meals are. I'm always looking to try new things, so I would love some ideas from you.
Every day I'm looking for a way to return to the time when everything was.
I wanted to share with you today these beautiful cups that I got from one of my very close friends, Veronica. Over here, she has a channel, Raising Autism, where she does a lot of vlogs, but she also makes these beautiful cups, and I really just wanted to share that with you guys so that if you were in the market for pretty cups like this, she's got so many things on her Etsy shop. I will have her linked down below. She's got cups, she's got t-shirts, sweatshirts, she's got all kinds of stuff. I really love her shop, and she's one of my really good friends, and I want to support her small business as much as I can. So I wanted to share her in this video, and she was so kind to send me this stuff. She's been one of my really good friends since the beginning of my YouTube career, and she's just so appreciative of everything, and she's such a kind person that I just wanted to share her shop with you guys because she deserves all of the support. She's always been such a support in our community for all of us, so she just really deserves it. So she will be linked in the description box down below if you liked those cups. Also, just go and look and see what she has, because this is just what I loved. These were my favorite things, and they might not be for everybody, but she's got so many different things to choose from. So be sure to go check them out, and if you're able to, maybe support a small business.
Can't seem to get enough, hiding away from everyone. I don't know where I'm coming from. I fail to see right in front of me. There's a way I know. Confusion in my mind, no way to turn back time. My soul in need of remedy, don't even know the enemy. When I feel out of touch, can't seem to get enough, hiding away from everyone. I don't know where I'm coming from.
I wanted to chat for a minute because I just love talking with you and being honest and vulnerable, because I know I'm not the only one who goes through this kind of stuff, but I've been feeling really overwhelmed lately, and there's been a lot on my plate, and I feel like, the ball is always dropping somewhere, and there's something that I'm not able to keep up with, or I feel like sometimes I'm not the best mom that I could be, or I'm not the best YouTuber I could be, or I haven't gotten back to comments in far too long. I feel like something's always got to give, and I don't think that that's just in my life. I think that's in everybody's life. I think we all feel that way sometimes, especially in the really busy seasons of life. And I just wanted to let you know that if you're feeling that way, you definitely are not alone. I've been feeling that way basically since the very beginning start of this year. It's been a little overwhelming. I'm trying to find a happy medium. I'm trying to get more organized, and I'm trying to be more productive so that I don't feel so overwhelmed, because of course I think we all could work on time management as well. Especially I could be a little bit more organized, work better on time management, and it definitely would take a load off of me, but getting there is really hard sometimes. And I have a tendency to bounce back and forth between things, which makes a lot of things started but not finished type of thing. So I'm working on it though. But anybody who is feeling that way, I just wanted you to know that you're not alone.
Guess I'm just too scared to settle down. There'd be many nights I got too high and almost left town. But there's something about you, something about you I like, about you I like. I get too drunk and too scared and lie to you. If only you knew I would die for you. One of us gotta say the obvious. Nobody loves me better, nobody loves me better. Too drunk and too scared and lie to you. If only you knew I would die for you. One of us gotta say the obvious. Nobody loves me better, yeah.
All right, so I wanted to see if I'm the only one. Okay. I really want to get like a scrub brush, like one of those round scrub brushes for the sink, and I almost bought one, but then I reminded myself of the sound that scrub brush would make on the stainless steel. I'm not sure if it actually does, but it just came to mind. So like when I used to work in the restaurant business and I would have to work on the patio, I would make one of the other servers sweep the patio because I hate the sound of like the bristles on the concrete. and it's kind of like nails on a chalkboard for me. And I feel like the bristles in the sink would kind of be the same thing. So if you use one of those brushes in the sink, on the sink to scrub it, you'll have to let me know if it makes that kind of sound or if it's kind of quiet. Maybe the bristles are softer than what I'm thinking, but I really want to find a way to really scrub down the sink a little better. My sponge obviously doesn't do a great job, and I want it to get into like the nooks and crannies and stuff. I guess maybe I could use, I would think a toothbrush maybe to get in some of the nooks and crannies, but I'm not going to scrub the entire sink with a toothbrush. That would take me a year to clean it, but you will have to let me know if that's your method of cleaning the sink.
Sometimes when I'm reasoning about us, I know you got me, it's so effortless. Back to back we would carry on and we'd do anything for what we started. But this time we could break. I'm running dry, everything's the same. We'll try tonight, this time we're not safe and sound. Not safe and sound. What if I'm no good for you? What if you're no good for me? Yeah. What if I'm no good for you? What if you're no good for me? Yeah. What if I'm no good for you? What if you're no good for me? Yeah. What if I'm no good for you? What if you're no good?
Totally random, but if you are somebody who likes to drink a sweet coffee at Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts, drop me a comment down below and let me know what your order is. I'm always looking to try new flavors, new styles, and I would love to know what it is that you gravitate to. I typically drink at Dunkin' Donuts a mocha iced coffee with liquid sugar and cream, just regular cream and sugar. And then when I go to Starbucks, I'll do like a caramel macchiato, is usually an iced caramel macchiato with soy. That's usually my go-to there, but I'm always looking for new things to try, so you'll have to let me know what you get.
What if you're no good for me? Yeah.
Moving on to this little back hallway area, and in these boxes were two kind of like antique-y things. One was a chair, but this box that I just picked up was actually my grandfather's ceramic Christmas tree. He used to be really into ceramics, so he actually made it himself. He's made a lot of things, like he had a, what is it, a kiln? Is that what it's called? Where you like put the, clay thing in and it turns into ceramic. Don't quote me on that, I'm not very good at it, but he had one of those when I was a kid growing up, and he would make a lot of things, and so he actually made one of those like Christmas trees from like the 80s or 90s, maybe it was even the 70s, I'm not sure, but growing up I feel like everybody had one in their house, and it was in my oldest son's grandmother's house for a really long time. I actually thought I lost it, and then when she recently moved, she came across it and she was like, "Hey, isn't this yours?" I was like so happy because I lost my grandfather a couple of years ago to you know what, so I was so happy whenever she said she came across it and found it. So that was what was in that box. So next year you can assure that thing will be out.
I don't even know what it feels like when your eyes are staring at me. I miss them. I'm about to lose it. All of my friends telling me to leave for the night. It's for the best. I'm a fool
Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new, I'm Becca, and today we are doing an extreme clean with me. I'm here to give you some extreme cleaning motivation. As you can tell, my house is a complete disaster. We have some really big messes that we need to get to and clean up and get this place shining and sparkling and clean once again. If you're new, I'm Becca. I'm a mom to 3, and I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and join the family. I do long cleaning videos every single week. And today we are starting off in the kitchen. Once again, like I said, it is trash. It's a huge mess, but we have to get it back in order. So I'm going to start getting these dishes over to the sink so we can get everything cleaned up and shiny again. To clean the stovetop, I'm going to use this magic eraser sheet. I've mentioned this a million times on my channel before, but I love these things, especially for cleaning the stovetop. If you like the magic eraser, you will love one of these things. I mean, it's just like a magic eraser, except for it's just a thinner, like a sheet. But it gets all of the mess off and it gets everything scrubbed down. And if there's anything like stuck on, it comes off so easily with this thing. Love it. I wanted to check in with everybody and see how you're doing. How has your week been going? Are you doing anything fun over the next week? I'm getting super excited because school is about to be out in like a little over a month, and I just love summertime. I love it when the kids are home. Of course, it kind of slows me down because, you know, I have all 3 kids home, and trying to get work done with all of them home can be difficult being a work from home mom. But it's just so much more fun. We have the opportunity to do more fun activities. We don't have to get up early, and Grayson and I are not morning people, so we love sleeping in, but it's just a nice little break, to be honest. And I love having the kids home. I love being able to have that time with them where we're not restricted on super strict time, if that makes sense. Like, you know, I feel like during the school weeks, it's like everything is rush. Like I have to get my work done during the day and get them off to school, pick them up from school, get dinner made, get everybody ready for bed. It's like you don't get to, it's not the same. You don't get to soak up and enjoy your kids because everything is just so rushed. So I always look forward to summer. Moving on to the dishes, we are going to get the sink emptied out and cleared out and everything. Thankfully, it looks worse than it actually is. There wasn't too much in the sink. A lot of it was like pots and pans from making dinner, but I really just needed to focus on getting everything in the dishwasher, getting the dishwasher ran, and of course cleaning these pots and pans. A lot of the times, if my dishwasher isn't full, I will toss a lot of the pots and pans in the dishwasher. But if it is full, then I'll just go ahead and hand wash them.
What if we could pick up the missing pieces? What if we knew the love would never let us down? Broken into reverse that broken feeling to say yeah, I do, and I will follow wherever you may go. I know it's so uncertain, but I'm tired of hurting now. Now, all my tears and searching, gonna open up my curtains now. 'Cause I don't wanna miss out. Take me on a big adventure. Baby, if we stay together, we can stay young forever. Where will you go if you could time travel? Take me on a big adventure.
So the boys were on spring break last week, and to finish out spring break, if you follow me on Instagram, you already know this, but to finish out the spring break, I took them to go see the Mario movie. Grayson literally has been asking me since the beginning of the year when he first saw like an advertisement for it. Every day he would be like, how many more days? How many more days until it comes out? How many more days? And so it was finally out, and I was super excited to bring them and take them to the movies. And I wasn't going to bring Tristan because I wasn't sure if he was quite old enough to sit through the whole thing, but he did great. And the movie actually was pretty good. Like I was excited because, you know, I'm a millennial. Mario is, I feel like, kind of our generation, right? So I was actually pretty excited to see it too, and it did not disappoint. It was a good kids movie. It was definitely like a tolerable for adults kid movie. I really enjoyed it. We'll definitely be buying it when it comes out and we can stream it. We do have a garbage disposal, so a lot of the times I will kind of just toss things in the sink, even if they still have a little bit of food on them. I try not to do that all the time, just because I do know that if you like don't ever scrape your plates in the trash and put all of it down your garbage disposal, it does start to smell over time, and I haven't quite perfected how to clean out the garbage disposal. Like I mean, I'm sure you could like toss some bleach and stuff down there, but other than that, like I just try not to give myself something else to clean too much. So, or, you know, to keep it to a minimum. So I do use the garbage disposal, but probably not as much as like other people do. Now we're moving on to the dining room, and I thankfully didn't have too much of a mess in here, but I really needed to get the table wiped down. I really want to get the floors clean for the entire downstairs. So I'm going to work on vacuuming the rug and getting the floors cleaned. I typically, whenever I mop or vac mop the hardwoods, I also try to vacuum the rugs, because for me, at least, with my cleaning, you know, thinking process, it is like a oxymoron if you don't vacuum the rug, but you clean the other part of the floor, because then you're just going to track from one or the other. So whenever I mop, I try to also vacuum the rugs at the same time too.
And I don't have anything. Then it's quiet. 'Cause they are lying. Oh, so quiet. They are lying.
Some other features I want to mention about this is the LED screen and the voice prompts. There's a large LED screen and display. It's an intelligent voice prompts to see the remaining battery cleanliness of the floors and operation status at a glance. It basically has all of your features, your options, you can interchange them, and it's got the voice prompt. You can turn that on and off if you like it. If you don't like it, you don't have to use it, but I just thought that was a really cool feature. Also, there's a powerful traction. The brush roller utilizes power from the motor to generate forward traction and to lean at ease with minimal effort. And this, when I first started using it, I was like, wow, like you can feel the suction while it's doing that. You can feel it. It kind of almost makes it to where the vacuum is almost like in a self-clean mode. Like you're putting very little minimal effort into like pulling the vacuum, moving it. I don't know how to explain it. I guess you would kind of have to just see for yourself, but it suctions, almost feels like it suctions to the floor and kind of pulls itself along to where you're just kind of just like holding it up. It's a super cool feature that I really enjoyed. Next, we're gonna get to cleaning the living room, which of course, there's always toys. If this is a house full of kids, so of course we always have toys and messes everywhere, but this is the season of life we are in right now. And I know for some people, it probably drives them nuts having, you know, toys all over the place or having, you know, kids messes everywhere, but I just am not one of those people, and it doesn't really bother me. I am loving this season of life. I'm loving having the messes and having the kids young and just enjoying it while it's here. The messes really just don't bother me. One day they will be gone and my house will always be clean because it'll just be either just me or maybe me and somebody else, who knows. But I know that this is going to be a short-lived moment, and I had actually seen something the other day on, I believe it was Instagram, an Instagram reel, and it said, when you're having a moment as a parent where you're just overwhelmed, overstimulated, overtouched, take a minute before you like lose your crap and start freaking out or whatever. Like, take a minute and just think 20 years into the future from now where you'll be, and if you feel like you'll miss the stage of life you're in right now. I know for a fact I would, so it definitely would help me kind of come back down to reality in that moment. But for the most part, I just don't let messes bother me. I don't let the toys and the chaos and the kids, and, you know, of course I'm a parent and I'm human. Sometimes I do, you know, get frustrated with them, but it's never over messes like this, that's for sure.
We're moving through the night like we're from a different star, flying over streets and our broken hearts. But they can't even touch us, we found a different beat. Paradise is waiting and we bought the lead. Ooh, getting caught in the mist, there's so many that never get out of. They're feeding the fears and the doubts. Ooh, but we're golden, we run to the end and we run without shame. We own the game, and we ride on the flames till the morning light, baby, 'cause we're dynamite. Ain't nobody gonna hold us down. Break all the rules, let them run and hide, baby, 'cause we're dynamite. Gonna let the world know. We're dynamite.
In my house, we typically do not wear shoes in the house. I do wear my slippers all over the house, but these slippers never go outside. They never go outside. Not to say that they don't get dirty. I mean, they still get dirty. There's still food on the ground and everything, but we don't wear shoes in my house. Like, every now and then, like if I'm bringing the groceries in or something, I might walk through the house real quick, but otherwise we do not wear shoes in the house. For one, because I don't love having to clean all the time, and for two, you know, to each their own, but when you walk around stores and walk around outside and everything, you never know what your shoes are touching or what they're putting on your floor. And I have young kids who will eat off the floor in a heartbeat. I cannot control it, so I can't always be watching them, and sometimes, you know, I don't see it. So whenever my children were little and crawling around, especially because I didn't want people coming over wearing their dirty shoes all over the ground, and then my baby's crawling around and stuff, they're putting their hands in their mouth and stuff. So at that moment I decided, you know what, we're gonna go no shoes, and so it just worked out really well. So I've just stuck with it.
And we ride on the flames till the morning light, baby, 'cause we're dynamite. Ain't nobody gonna hold us down. Break all the rules, let them run and hide, baby, 'cause we're dynamite. Gonna let the world know. We're dynamite.
I got through almost the entire downstairs, but I had to clean out the water tank, the dirty water tank. As you can see, that water is disgusting, but it's truly getting all of the dirt and all of the grime off of my floor.
I've been feeling empty. I've been holding on to someone that really wasn't worth it. I put out my heart, gave it my all.
Now that I'm all done with the vac mop, I'm gonna put it back on the stand so it can charge and so we can do the self-clean option and it can get all dry. This is the button right here for self-clean. This is it charging and cleaning and all of that stuff. It thoroughly got this clean. Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new, I'm Becca. I'm a mom to 3, and today I am sharing with you a messy house, complete disaster cleaning. My upstairs is trashed and it's very messy, and I always share real life cleaning with you. So if you're new here, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and join the family. I do long cleaning videos every single week, and I always jam pack them with a ton of cleaning motivation and, like I said, just real life messes, because if you're a mom, especially a mom with young kids, you know your house gets messy really quickly and it's hard to stay on top of, and that's okay. Don't feel guilty if you have a messy house. It's fine. We all do sometimes, and I'm here to give you all of the cleaning motivation you need to help get your house back in order. As you can tell, we are starting off vacuuming the stairs because it's been a while, and since we're going to be mostly upstairs, I figured I would go ahead and get this done quickly while I make my way up with the vacuum because I needed it for other jobs. So now we're moving into the playroom. The playroom is a complete disaster. I have literally let this room go for probably about 2 weeks. It just happens. Sometimes I focus a lot on the downstairs and not at all on the upstairs, because if people come over or anything, the downstairs is like the really lived in area. The playroom is kind of just the kids area, and obviously there's a lot of toys and a lot of their mess, but I mean, they can live in that mess, right? So I don't feel the need to clean up their playroom all the time or to force them to do it all the time, because I do make my children clean up their messes as well. But it's been a while. I've really just been focusing on the downstairs. Like on this current day, the downstairs was spotless, but the upstairs, whole nother story. So the star of the show today is Miss Lola. She wanted to be all up in the camera for some reason. She loves it. But I also wanted to give an introduction because I've had a lot of questions lately about her. She is a Chihuahua mix. She's 7 years old, and I rescued her when she was 6 weeks old, and she literally could fit like in the palm of your hand. She was so cute. But I have gotten some comments in the past about how I need to show my dog more attention and she's pining after my attention or whatever, and I just always laugh it off because it's so funny. It doesn't matter how much attention I give her because she literally will follow me around everywhere. I'm just her person. That's just what it comes down to. I could give her attention all day long and do it for the rest of her life, and she still will follow me everywhere, and I really do think it's just because like I said, I'm her person. She wants to be wherever I am. Like, she follows me she's literally laying in her doggy bed right next to me right now. She is always with me, always with me. If I'm home, wherever I'm at, she is. And I get like, she's 7 years old, so she's been here for a while now, and I'm so used to it that sometimes I don't even notice. Like, I'm just so used to her always being right there and right under my feet and always present. Like, she's just my little shadow. But I promise she gets a ton of attention between me and the kids. She gets a ton of attention. For the rest of her life, she will likely follow me around everywhere.
Like we're still all good. You know I miss you the most when I'm lonely. You know I miss you the most when I'm lonely.
since this room was so messy and it felt a little overwhelming when I started cleaning, I decided to work on one half of the room because this is actually a really big room. It's bigger than I would like it to be. This house in general is bigger than I would like it to be quite honest. At the time when we were purchasing this house, or when we were building it really, I love the floor plan. I love the concept. I love the idea, but we have definitely, you know, between Chris moving out and the boys wanting to share a bedroom, we just haven't needed all of the space that we have. So I look forward to one day downsizing because it does get a little overwhelming sometimes. And even though I feel like the mess doesn't look as messy as quickly in my house because it is a bigger house, but that just means when it does look messy, it is a massive undertaking to clean up, right? Because it's so big, right? And when we had a smaller house, it just seemed like it was a lot easier to keep up with and to keep clean. And, you know, it didn't take as long. When it looked like it was super messy, it didn't take as long to clean up. But either way, my best advice to you is to take it one step at a time. So if you're feeling a little overwhelmed or feeling like it's going to be a lot, start in little like corners, right? So with this big room, I was feeling a little overwhelmed with it. Felt like it was going to take a while, you know, which sometimes because of my ADHD, that'll like keep me from doing things. And if you have ADD or ADHD, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you don't want to do something and it feels overwhelming, you will put it off and do something else just to like sidetrack yourself. And so what I like to do is break it down into smaller tasks. So like today I started with one half of the room, cleaned it from top to bottom. And then the other half didn't seem so daunting once one half was clean.
Something you never needed. What was it all for? I don't know you anymore. We go back, we go back, we go back, we colliding. Losing track, even God knows I'm trying. Dangerous, selfish ways to love me more these days. We go back, we go back, we go back, we colliding. Had a vision, we held on to so tight. To me it was clear, but you lied to me. Now I keep thinking, was I wasting my time letting you into my life? You brought out the best in me.
On all of the wood in the house, I use the Everspring wood cleaner, and that's what I'm using today to clean off the shelves and TV stand and stuff. I love this stuff. I think it's just as good as the Method wood spray, and this one is half the price, so I generally go after this one. I actually ended up trying it because I loved the Method one, and I went to Target one day to buy the Method one and it wasn't there. And so I was kind of forced to find an alternative, and I saw this stuff and I was like, I'll give it a try, and I actually really like it, and I've been buying it probably for like a year now.
We go back, we go back, we go back, we're colliding. Losing track, even God knows I'm trying.
Now we're moving on to my two younger boys' room. For some reason, this week they decided to play with their laundry basket, so clothes ended up getting everywhere. They took, like, the laundry basket usually has kind of like a liner, like a cloth liner in it, and for some reason they wanted to play with it as a bag, so they ended up taking all of their stuff out of the laundry basket. They tried to put some of it back, as you could tell, but they wanted to play with it for some reason, so they took the laundry basket apart. But with that being said, I really needed to clean their laundry. As you can tell, it's a full load of laundry. So we're gonna get that started before we move on to cleaning their room. Like I always say, when you are cleaning, like deep cleaning your house, cleaning a room, cleaning your kitchen, whatever, when you're cleaning, toss a load in the washer. Like, it helps minimize the amount of laundry you have every week and helps you stay somewhat organized and on top of it.
Come back when you're older. Go find a place where you can't be the victim. And come back when you're older. Go catch the storm within your broken bones. And be wild, 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 wild,
This is the random sock that I found in Tristan's sheets. I always find socks in his sheets. He loves fuzzy socks like this. It's his thing. He doesn't wear them all day long. He likes to sleep in them. I know, crazy. He likes to sleep in socks. I know what people say about people who sleep in socks, but and it's not just any socks. He likes the fuzzy socks, like the fleece socks. So he likes to sleep in them, but they come off his feet so easily that typically they end up in his bed or in my bed, but they're all over the place because they never stay on his feet. And the ironic thing too is that during the day, he'd rather be barefoot, no socks, no shoes or anything like that. But at night, he loves a good fuzzy sock. And of course, we're gonna finish up cleaning this room with a good vacuum. Before we move on, I'm going to switch the boys' laundry so that way whenever we're done cleaning, it'll be ready to be folded.
I miss with you. Still it feels just like I'm waiting for something better. Wait a second. I wanna stay up late.
Next, we're going to clean the boys' bathroom. This has been on the to-do list for the last few days and it's pretty messy, pretty disgusting. So it was about that time to get it nice and clean again.
But sometimes I might be a bit selfish when you're way too humble.
On the countertops in the bathroom, I'm just using my Method Daily Granite Cleaner. I love using this for the granite. And even though we're cleaning a bathroom, I still am really particular about what I use on my granite countertops because I want to make sure that I'm not damaging them or damaging the top coat, because I know that in the past I've been told that if you use like disinfectant wipes or anything too harsh on granite, it will take off, it'll like peel off the top layer of the protectant coat over the granite. So I'm always very careful about what I use on my granite countertops. I will use disinfectant wipes every now and then. Like if I'm cooking raw meat or like prepping raw meat on the island, I might use a disinfectant wipe afterwards just to kind of like kill all the bacteria in between like cooking, and so I don't do cross-contamination. But for the most part, I try not to use them at all on there because they are really bad at like breaking down that top coat. And then on the counter or on the cabinets, I'm going to use my wood cleaner again, the Everspring one. I use this pretty much on everything. I know they're painted cabinets, but down to, down underneath, they are wood. So I always try to use a wood cleaner because if you didn't know, wood cleaners are made to dry faster because you don't want anything saturating your wood, right? And the goal is just to clean the top, the surface level of it. You don't want it really penetrating or going through the wood because that breaks down wood. So wood cleaners typically dry faster, and that's one of the reasons why even on painted wood, I will use a wood cleaner. It just doesn't sit on there for as long. But these cabinets were pretty bad. I should have shown you a close-up shot because there was like toothpaste all over them. They were bad. They needed to be done. It was on the to-do list for a while, and on this day I was like, all right, we're doing it.
'Cause I'm a little bit unsteady, even a little bit mad, like the ancestor, or just the best you've ever had.
You got me begging, pretty please. I'm so hung up on you.
If this is your first time here and you're a little confused, this bathroom is a Jack and Jill bathroom. So The toilet and the shower are in the middle, and it's kind of its own room, and then on both ends there's vanities, and this is my oldest son's vanity, which is attached to his bedroom, and then the other one is my two younger boys' side, which is attached to the loft area and right outside of their bedroom. So it just makes it really easy for, you know, my teenager to have a little bit of privacy and not have to share, you know, a personal space with them as much as possible, because let's be honest, teenagers need that accommodation. They do. They need some privacy, especially my kids, because my other two boys are only 2 years apart, and it's great. They probably won't need that accommodation. But because, you know, my first and my second, they're 10 years apart. There's a big age gap there. There's 12 years between him and my third. So I think it's fair for him to have some privacy.
We spend the night on bubble bears, forever lasting. I know you never would admit it, but I can see through you. Where do you go when your glass ends up empty? Oh, I wanna know, won't you let me know? Where do you hide when you leave me wasted? Oh, I wanna know. We're only lovers when we count down. Tell me when to stop. Tell me when to stop, babe. Just keep on dancing like we're nightbound. Lovers on the clock. I'll be ready when we go down.
On the toilet, I'm going to be using my Clorox urine remover spray. I think this is the best thing to clean the toilet with. It just really cuts out that nasty, you know, toilet residue and all of that stuff. I just think it's a great thing to use on it. I don't like to use like straight bleach really, and this doesn't have, like, it's definitely got a smell to it, don't get me wrong. It's definitely got a smell to it, but it's not as strong as bleach, and that to me is good. Bleach always bothers me, so I like to use this stuff, and I feel like it really like cuts out the grime. And then inside the toilet, I'm just using a Clorox toilet wand. I love the toilet wands because you get to throw away that nasty thing once you use it inside the toilet and start fresh with the next cleaning.
So hard, being drawn to you so easily. I am stuck in a loop of chemicals. What's the point of this? But I don't wanna be alone. I keep looking at my phone, but you never call me. And then I see you on the street, said your heart just skipped a beat, and that you miss me. It's always the same story with you, but I just cannot refuse you.
Now that the bathroom is all clean, we're gonna go ahead and take the stuff out of the dryer, and I'm going to get it folded. I did want to say, like, those those 3 rooms took me all day to do, because it's really hard. I'm sure if you're a parent or if you're somebody with young children or school-age children or even older children, I'm sure you remember what that was like. But it's so hard sometimes to get things done because I'm doing like school drop-off, school pickups, and my kids are in 2 separate schools because one's older, one's younger. So I have different times, different schools. Like, I feel like I'm all over the place. I try to get as much cleaning as I can get done in one day, but sometimes that's not very much because I'm also a mom. So I'm so grateful for all of you being here though, so that this is my job and I can focus on my kids and I can still spend the day with them and I can still go and pick them up from school and drop them off, and I'm so grateful for that. But sometimes it's like I feel like I didn't clean as much as I wanted to because I just don't have as much time in between doing all the little odds and ends and getting stopped all the time to do those things. So as much as I want to be able to clean for hours sometimes, it's just not possible.
So curious,
As far as the boys' clothes, I try to do KonMari method. If you've never researched what that is, I definitely suggest checking it out on like Pinterest, or even there's YouTube videos on how to do it. But I just love folding it the KonMari method way and storing it that way, because it makes your stuff stand up almost. So instead of like lying in piles, and that way you can see exactly what you have, and you know what's there, and you know things don't get hidden on the bottom and then never used or whatever. And it's just easier for me to keep the boys' drawers organized as well. And when I had a dresser, I did KonMari method for me and Chris as well. But I always suggest, like, I feel like it's the best way to store your clothes and the best way to fold them, and it optimizes your space even more and keeps it just a little bit neater.
You were making me so sure in a heartbeat. All of my doubts disappearing at last. You made me fall without saying a sentence. Won't you give me any warning? I've been thinking about you day and night and day and night. To be honest, I just don't know what to do next. 'Cause I'm the one with a broken heart, waiting for you to come out and save me. I'm a mess, need to untangle, and I'm a fool for you, baby. Fool for you, baby. Waiting for you to come out and save me. Fool for you.
All right, friends, here are some after clips of everything all cleaned up and organized again. Thank you so much for choosing to click on this video today. Thank you so much for always coming back and supporting my channel, and everything you do means the world to me. I would not have this job or this opportunity without you, and the gratitude I have for you being here is astronomical. Thank you so much. And if you're new, I hope you hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye.
Need to untangle, and I'm a fool